Picture two different apartments in the exact same neighborhood, with similar rent, right here in the city. The first apartment belongs to a guy earning $95,000 a year, but feeling stressed. Inside, you find a massive television, an expensive leather sectional, and closets absolutely overflowing with unworn clothes. He checks his bank account with a sick stomach, living just 2 missed paychecks from complete disaster. The second apartment belongs to someone earning $52,000, but they feel completely at peace. Walk inside and you notice open space, a modest couch, and zero unnecessary visual clutter everywhere. This person checks their accounts with confidence, holding 18 months of savings and constantly investing heavily. The person earning almost half as much possesses nearly 10 times the actual financial security today. This is not a story about your income. It reveals the hidden relationship between stuff and money. Today, I will teach you the minimalist money rules separating wealth builders from those forever struggling. These rules are not about deprivation. They are about realizing every single object has ongoing hidden costs. Let us begin with a fundamental concept that will completely reframe how you view every future purchase. Everything you own costs money twice. The first cost is simply the purchase price on the receipt, but there is a second cost that most people ignore, and it is usually much, much larger. This second cost includes expensive storage, continuous maintenance, mental energy, and massive lost investment opportunity costs. That treadmill requires physical space in your home. Space costs roughly $40 per square foot annually. You're paying hundreds in implicit rent just to store exercise equipment that probably holds hanging clothes. The second cost also includes maintenance. A boat requires winterization, cleaning, expensive insurance, and frequent mechanical repairs. Every item you own occupies your attention. It needs to be cleaned, organized, insured, and worried about. Researchers found that visual clutter actually increases your cortisol levels and destroys your ability to focus completely. Finally, opportunity cost. Every single dollar locked up in physical possessions is a dollar you cannot invest. That $15,000 home gym could have been invested in index funds, growing exponentially over time. You did not just buy a home gym, you bought equipment instead of your future financial freedom. Minimalists understand this hidden math intuitively. They avoid possessions because most things simply aren't worth it. This leads directly to our first minimalist rule. Rule 1. Calculate the exact cost per use beforehand. Before buying anything, strictly estimate how many times you will realistically use it in your daily life. Divide the total price by that number. This cost per use is the only honest value measurement. A $200 jacket worn twice costs a ridiculous $100 every single time. A $400 jacket worn 200 times costs merely $2 per single daily wear. The expensive jacket is actually much cheaper in any practical, meaningful sense for your personal budget. This calculation instantly destroys most impulse purchases. That expensive kitchen gadget becomes mathematically impossible to logically justify. Rule 2. Apply the strict replacement test to absolutely everything you already own inside your current home. Ask yourself this honest question. If this item disappeared today, would I spend real money to replace it? Would you actually repurchase those unworn clothes or that dusty bread maker sitting uselessly in your cabinet? For most items, the honest answer is no. They exist purely through laziness, not through intentional choice. These items literally have negative value. They steal your space, mental energy, and time without providing benefits. Minimalists ruthlessly eliminate anything failing this replacement test. Sell what has value and donate all the rest. Removing that psychological weight creates incredible mental space. Your rooms feel larger and daily decisions become simpler. Rule 3. Never upgrade out of sheer boredom. This pattern constantly destroys wealth for high-income earners. People upgrade perfectly functional items simply because they are bored or slightly newer versions suddenly exist today. Their phone operates flawlessly, but the newest release has a marginally improved camera they don't need. These upgrades feel like improvements, but they are massive wealth destruction, cleverly disguised as personal financial progress. Minimalists maintain one strict policy. You must never replace something that still functions properly for your needs. The car that reliably transports you does not need replacement just because your neighbor bought something shinier. Replacing phones unnecessarily costs tens of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. Stop solving invented daily problems. Rule 4. Create high friction for spending and absolute frictionless ease for saving and investing your money. Human behavior follows the easiest path. If spending is effortless and saving is difficult, you will overspend. Remove stored credit cards from online stores. Require a mandatory 24-hour waiting period for purchases. Make saving effortless by setting up automatic transfers to your investment accounts on every single payday morning. Willpower always depletes throughout your busy day, but your carefully engineered environment will remain completely reliable constantly. The 24-hour waiting rule alone successfully eliminates roughly 70% of your terrible impulse decisions. Rule 5. Count your possessions regularly. This sounds obsessive until you actually try it and see results. Counting forces total awareness, and awareness actively prevents mindless accumulation. Pick a category and count every item. How many shirts do you own? Most people guess low and discover they have 4 times more. The count changes your behavior entirely. Once you know you own 47 shirts, buying another feels ridiculous. Minimalists set maximum thresholds, perhaps 30 clothing items total, or a strict one-in, one-out household policy. These constraints stop lifestyle creep dead in its tracks. Each addition requires a conscious, deliberate removal decision. Rule 6. Rent or borrow before you buy. Most purchased items get used intensively for 1 week, then the excitement fades and the item joins your massive collection of things owned but seldom touched. Want to try woodworking? Borrow tools from a friend or rent them to test your genuine interest. This reveals whether your enthusiasm is permanent or temporary, saving you thousands on abandoned, dusty new hobbies. When you finally purchase, you know exactly what is necessary rather than randomly guessing what you need. Rule 7. Completely understand the lifestyle multiplier effect before making any major financial commitments or large purchases. Every possession connects to other possessions. A boat requires a trailer, storage fees, maintenance, and safety equipment. A purchase seeming singular actually triggers a massive, expensive cascade of required supporting purchases and necessary upgrades. Minimalists calculate the full ecosystem cost. A $5,000 purchase might actually cost you $12,000. Eliminating one major possession instantly eliminates an entire category of related expenses, saving you substantially more money. Rule 8. Clearly define what enough looks like before you ever start earning significant amounts of money. High earners get trapped because they never define enough. They keep buying more without ever finding satisfaction. Their income increases, so they upgrade their lifestyle. The cycle continues indefinitely, causing constant financial stress forever. Decide in advance what kind of home and car constitutes genuine satisfaction, then earn toward that target. Defining enough creates a necessary finish line. Without it, you are running an endless, exhausting financial race. When you define enough, any additional income flows entirely into saving and investing rather than mindless consumption. Rule 9. Measure your true wealth by your personal optionality, not by your physical accumulation of things. Society measures wealth by visible possessions. Minimalists measure wealth by the freedom to make choices you want. Can you leave a toxic job? Can you take 6 months off? Can you start a business? These options represent true wealth. They require a substantial margin between your monthly income and your expenses. The person earning $200,000 but spending it all has absolutely zero optionality or real freedom. A modest earner with low expenses can absorb disruptions, take risks, and make choices based on absolute preference. Rule 10. Practice cyclical decluttering rather than attempting massive, exhausting annual purging sessions that ultimately always fail. Most people purge everything, feel great, and then gradually accumulate right back to their original cluttered baseline. Minimalists perform small, regular reviews. A weekly glance at incoming items prevents overwhelming accumulation from ever starting. Removing 3 items per week is completely sustainable. Removing 300 items once a year feels overwhelming. This cyclical approach helps you recognize your emotional triggers and marketing tactics that specifically work on you. Implementing these minimalist money rules creates a powerful financial transformation that compounds massively over your entire lifetime. Owning less naturally creates more money, but having more money also makes owning less feel incredibly natural. When your investments grow rapidly, the psychological urge to relentlessly accumulate unnecessary possessions completely disappears for good. Security and status get satisfied by your absolute financial strength rather than by displaying expensive physical possessions. Spending temporarily fills an emotional void. Address the insecurity with real savings, and the compulsion instantly dissolves. This creates a beautiful, virtuous cycle. Spending less leads to saving more, which creates absolute financial security. Security reduces the emotional drive to spend, which heavily accelerates your saving rate even further every month. The destructive cycle does the opposite. Spending everything creates deep insecurity, driving more desperate spending for relief. The minimalist rules I outlined are not about suffering. They recognize that overconsumption never improves life satisfaction. Research shows that beyond baseline comfort, additional purchases contribute almost nothing to your overall happiness and well-being. Spend enough to be comfortable, then ruthlessly redirect all excess money toward buying your absolute ultimate freedom. The choice is simple. Do you want to own your possessions or let your possessions own you? The math strongly favors owning less. It builds a bulletproof financial foundation that nothing can ever destroy. Start today. Apply the replacement test to 10 items in your house and experience that liberating feeling. Embrace these minimalist money rules, simplify your entire environment, and watch your financial stability absolutely skyrocket immediately. Thank you for watching. Remember to protect your peace, invest your money, and always keep living deliberately.